Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session of the Montgomery County Council. This morning, we will begin with two presentations. The first is a proclamation recognizing the Weed Warriors. I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Glass for this one.
Yes, whoever's here, come on down.
I have to remember that line.
Don't worry, you have to sell some lockers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do I.
There's one weed left in Montgomery County.
Well, actually, I'm wondering who's doing the weeding now. Where's the designated survivor?
The weeds are all like, yes.
We have ample plot size down here. Come on in.
Weed warriors are out in force.
It is an invasion of weed warriors this morning. Welcome, everybody. You know, it's been rainy over the last few days, but I know that makes all of your jobs easier. Makes the soil moistened and loosened so that you can do your work, making sure that our native plants are healthy and able to prosper in our zone here in Montgomery County in the DC region. You know, the Weed Warriors, I want to thank you all. You do a lot of unsung work. And I see you out throughout the community wearing the bright yellow shirts, so I'm glad you all have chosen to wear them today. Making sure that our ecosystem remains balanced and making sure that our native plants are able to thrive, which also means that our animals and our birds and our wildlife are able to continue living here side by side humanity. And it really is a wonderful thing. And I just want to say thank you. Now, there's a lot of you. And normally we have a tradition of letting everybody go by and saying their name and a little bit, but I'm a little overwhelmed by the group. So what I'd like to maybe do, try a different exercise. If we can go around and maybe shout either the stream or ecological system in which maybe you work so that everybody can hear the diversity of your work, the regionality of your work, and of course the streams and parks that benefit from your work. So I'll kind of go around this way and just shout it out.
Peter Chesick, Little Falls Watershed. Kevin John.
Sligo Creek. Sligo Creek.
Lake Frank.
Rachel Carson. Seneca Creek.
Kensington Parkway. Rock Creek. Northwest Ridge.
Sligo. Conejo. Free Friends United.
Did we miss anything?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There we go. Well, so we've really heard the diversity of Montgomery County. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you who do this work, who care passionately. And this is your volunteer gig. And so I know how important it is to all of you. And most residents of Montgomery County don't realize the care and love that you pay attention to our community. And so I just wanted to say on behalf of the whole county, thank you. And the Weed Warriors are a part of the Parks Department. So now I want to turn it over to our Parks Director, Mitty Figueredo, for additional comments.
Thank you, Councilmember Glass. It is such a wonderful, these folks make me want to cry a little bit. Seeing them recognized is such a balm for the soul. I think these days we sometimes look around and ask, like, what can we do to make the world a better place? I'm just one person. And sometimes the answer is as simple as apply yourself to a task that needs doing. And in this instance, freeing up our natural spaces so that, as Councilmember Glass was saying, our critters have things to eat and places to rest and hide it's a beautiful thing. And so I cannot express my gratitude enough to this team. we have a lot of parkland that we steward on behalf of the public, and we can't take care of it all ourselves. We need the help, and so we're so appreciative. And I also want to call out Corinne Stevens, who runs this program for us, and she's a great leader. And her team, and also Molly Gallant, who runs our volunteer services office, is here as well. And I want to thank the council, because we did get a little extra funding in next year's fiscal year 25 budget, so that we can add a position to our volunteer services office, so we can do more stuff like this. So thank you so much, Councilmember Glass.
And Corinne, I'd like to invite you up to talk a little bit about the work that you do and all these incredible volunteers.
Sure. Hi, everybody. So on behalf of the Natural Resources Department for Montgomery Parks, I wanted to say thank you, all the weed warriors, volunteers that we have throughout the county. This is only a little piece of them. We have over 500 certified weed warriors throughout the county, and we take in thousands of volunteers, everybody from 10-year-old Cub Scouts all the way up to retirement communities in our work out here in the park. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Corinne. Thank you, Director Figueredo. And I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my personal weed warrior, my husband, Jason Godike, who on weekends might not be out with you, but he's in our garden. So I appreciate him doubly. And with that, I'd like to read the proclamation. The County Council of Montgomery County, a proclamation. Whereas the Weed Warrior Volunteer Program was created in 1999 to empower community members and help Montgomery Parks manage non-native invasive species on more than 37,000 acres of local parkland. And whereas non-native invasive plants spread quickly and aggressively, overtaking ecosystems by limiting native plants' access to sunlight, water, and nutrients, and whereas weed warriors are taught to properly identify and manage specific species of non-native invasive plants, making them indispensable partners in the effort to protect and preserve our local ecosystems. And whereas weed warrior volunteers have spent over 147,000 hours round of applause for that. 147,000 hours preserving our parks and building camaraderie among residents of all ages, backgrounds, and regions of Montgomery County. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby congratulates the Weed Warrior Volunteer Program and the dedicated environmentalists who work tirelessly to protect and restore our natural ecosystems. Presented on this, the 17th day of June, by Council President Kate Stewart and myself. Congratulations, everybody, and thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you to all the weed warriors who came out today, to our Parks Department, for all you do. We're really glad you all could take a break and be with us this morning. Our next proclamation this morning is recognizing Juneteenth, and that'll be provided by Council Vice President Jawando and Council Member Sales. And I just want to thank them for doing this proclamation and note that here in Montgomery County, we are going to continue to honor and acknowledge Juneteenth, and it has grown in our county. And in fact, we have not just one day, but over a week of events. And I'm sure Council Vice President Jawando will speak to this. And I want to recognize the former colleague here at the county, Craig Rice, has also joined us today, and many other folks. So now I'll turn it over to Council Vice President Jawando.
Come on down if you're here for the Juneteenth proclamation or feel so inspired. Yeah, okay, the Weed Warriors are hanging out with us. Come on down. So, as was mentioned by Council President Stewart, we are so proud to be living in a county and a state that is not rolling back our commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and not rolling. Yeah, that deserves. Unfortunately, we're living in times where there's many states and municipalities and organizations, for fear of loss of funding, that are not having Juneteenth celebrations this year. And in Montgomery County, we're expanding Juneteenth celebrations. Kensington, Scotland, Black Rock on Saturday, the big county celebration. And thanks to Jim Stowe for all he's done. But we have commemorated Juneteenth in Montgomery County for 28 years. And African Americans in this country, black people in this country, have been commemorating for over 100 years. But Montgomery County hasn't done bad as far as the commemoration. And we're thankful, obviously, to President Biden for making it a federal holiday, which is an act of Congress. So Donald Trump can't unroll it. So well, it's great to be with you today, and great to be with my colleague, Councilmember Sales, and all of my colleagues. We're here not to just observe a historical moment, but to affirm the enduring courage, resilience, and unbreakable spirit of black people in this country. We are here to renew our steadfast commitment to the ongoing fight for freedom and equality for all people, and for this generation and for those to come. And boy, is that important now. When I reflect on the history of this day, I'm reminded of a simple but undeniable truth. No one is free until we all are free. Yeah. Consider that night of January 1st, 1863, which we call Freedom's Eve, the night before the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. Free and enslaved African Americans and others across the country huddled, literally awaiting the news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect the next day. At the stroke of midnight, there were prayers, there were celebrations, and the news of freedom began to ripple across the Confederate South. Yet, not everyone got that news. Not all were immediately free. While millions began their new lives, over 250,000 African Americans in Texas remained in bondage for an agonizing 2 years, 5 months, and 18 days. And I often remind people that they probably heard about the Emancipation Proclamation, and they just knew it hadn't reached them. Juneteenth, we celebrate and commemorate the arrival of Union troops in Galveston, Texas, to deliver the long overdue news of emancipation. And I've been doing this a lot lately because I was at Leisure World, another group that had a huge, awesome Juneteenth celebration just this past weekend, which is they had over 300 people outside. And I asked everyone in the crowd, Leisure World is 55 plus. I'll be there by 2040. But as with 40% of the rest of the county at that point, I said, had you ever heard of read General Order 3, which is the order that was read very few people raised their hands. So you're going to hear it today. It's very short. This is the news that was delivered. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, the Emancipation Proclamation, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. So in the same document that says you're free, we set up sharecropping, an unequal form of continued servitude. It goes on to say the freed men, doesn't mention women, are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. Sub wages, of course. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, so we have our first no loitering in the document that says we're free, and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. This is the document that was read that we're celebrating that created the news for freedom for those folks in Galveston. And I often think it's pretty funny that you would say people who just literally walked off the fields, don't be idle. Come on. We built the country here. But it just reminds us that the struggle for freedom is not over. We know that even though emancipation happened and Juneteenth happened, we then were in a 100-year-long struggle that we're still in for actual freedom, for actual voting rights, for actual public accommodation in housing and the like. So here we stand doing our part in that continued struggle. And I'm just really happy that we have a teammate in Councilmember Sayles and this entire council in the county executive, in Montgomery County, and the Weed Warriors who stayed for the proclamation, and for all the great folks behind us who you'll hear from shortly, to say that we continue the work. We know it's not over. We know how important it is to remember our history, but we know that we are living history right now, and we have to continue to secure that freedom for ongoing generations. It's never done, and it's our job to keep it going. So I'll turn it over to Councilmember Sayles for some comments, and then we'll hear from some of our guests and read the proclamation. But happy Juneteenth. Thank you.
Good morning and happy Juneteenth. I feel like Juneteenth is now become a week-long, even a month-long celebration because we've been celebrating since last week. So thank you all for being here in Montgomery County and across the nation. I cannot wait until Thursday when we officially recognize Juneteenth. I would like to thank all of our community partners, our advocates that are here, and residents who continue to make Juneteenth more than just a date on the calendar, but a living commitment to our shared future. While Juneteenth marks the end of slavery, the struggle for diversity and equity and inclusion remains under attack. In recent years, we have witnessed how political leadership can either advance justice or hinder progress. This current administration has taken deliberate steps to dismantle civil rights protections, weaken fair housing enforcements, and target public health resources that disproportionately impact Black communities. From attacking voting rights and immigrants to rolling back initiatives to protect women's reproductive rights, these policies are personal. They have deepened disparities and sent a message that America is unwilling to lead with values that reflect the millions of residents taking to the sidewalks and other public venues to protest the degradation of our civil society peacefully. Fortunately for our residents here in Montgomery County, we reject that notion. We know that freedom is not just about emancipation, it's about liberation from systems that continue to harm. And we are committed to moving forward. Juneteenth is not just a historic milestone, it's a reminder of our resilience. It reminds us that justice is not delayed, justice is still denied. And that our work is far from over, not just about our past, but about how we honor our past to ensure a better future for every resident across this county. So you've heard about all of the activities that are happening. Show up, be an ally, be present, and ensure that we are dismantling systemic racism in every system across the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Sayles. I'm going to do a quick audible because we're okay on time and we don't get this much. Former Councilmember Craig Rice is here, and he's the CEO of Manna Food Bank. I'm going to ask him if he has a quick comment, and he knows how to be quick. So
thank you guys very much. And I just want to remind folks that bondage is not just physical. We continue to live in a place in which we think that we are still less than because we've been programmed to think that we're less than. And so each of us owe it to ourselves to perform and to make sure that we're highlighting ourselves in a way such that we are the example for younger generations that we are truly free. Because if we exhibit the actions of those that are still enslaved, if we exhibit the characteristics of those that are still less than, we will perpetrate the very things that Councilmember Sales and Councilmember Jawando just talked about. So we owe it to ourselves and our community to make sure that we are the shining example for future generations and that we resist the notion that somehow, because of the color of our skin and the fact that we were ripped from our homeland and brought here and enslaved, means that we are somehow lesser than. In fact, the simple notion that someone would travel all the way across the world to bring somebody back here actually says how great a people we truly are. Thank you.
Speaking of shining stars, just quickly introduce yourself and your role.
Good morning. My name is Selena Mendy Singleton. I am privileged to serve as the Racial Equity Manager here, not only on Juneteenth, but every day.
All right, good morning. My name is Dr. Lorenzo Perlman, and I serve as the 28th President of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Menu Chapter in Montgomery County, Maryland. So I'm excited to be here this morning.
Good morning. My name is Letitia Gasaway Paul. I am from the Scotland community, and I just want to touch on what was already said really quick. Juneteenth is also about using our voice. Our ancestors made sacrifices so that we can use our voice. So we need to fill in the gap and use our voice for those who are voiceless, for our children, for our neighbors, and for everyone in between. If you know something isn't right, there are many ways you can use your voice without even speaking. So I just want to make sure that we understand that if you have an obligation to step up and use your voice. Amen? She passed me a mic. And this is my sister.
Teresa Gasaway Gleaton. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kina Onium. I serve as a board member to Montgomery County Board of Elections and as chair to the African Affairs Advisory Group.
Good morning. My name is Valerie Forrester. I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Eta Pi Zeta Chapter, and I'm also here representing our president as I am the third vice president of the chapter. Happy to be here.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Perlman. I also serve as the First Lady of Munu Chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, and I am also part of the great sorors of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority.
Good morning. My name is Nina Abdul Wakil. I am the incoming president of the great Montgomery County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Brooks Vault. I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I'm here representing the Sigma 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 chapter.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Darrell Howard, and I am an instructional specialist in the Equity Initiatives Unit for Montgomery County Public Schools.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Joseph Boston Jr., brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and also an acting principal in MCPS.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Thorne. I'm the historic site manager for Josiah Henson Museum and Parks, which is part of Montgomery County Parks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Stoll. I'm director of the Office of Human Rights. I'd like to also just quickly say that Galveston, Texas was also a very, very important port for incoming Africans from around the continent. And so it was also, I think, symbolic that it was the last place for which this news got there in terms of the freedom that was experienced by those who had been enslaved. The other thing we'll note is this, is that this works. America works when everybody is engaged in the process. So Juneteenth is not a black holiday by itself. It's a holiday for all communities to come out. So I hope that all of you sitting in this audience today and those who may be listening will find a place somewhere in our community, because there are a lot of activities going on, thank goodness. But find an opportunity then to find yourself in one of those places to lift up and celebrate all of us as a human family and how we're trying to right one of the most ugliest parts of our history in this country. And so I would hope then that you get encouraged to come out and be a part of that. As a matter of fact, we've got events going on throughout the week for Scotland. We also got events for the county. They'll be on again this coming Friday and Saturday. Saturday's a big day at Germantown, of course, at Black Rock Center for the Arts. I do want to right now, if I can, Mr. Chairman. Oh, okay. I would like to also publicly announce on the Friday, this coming Friday, the 20th, we recognize African American elders in this community. It's called the African American Living Legend Award. And so recognize persons who are at least 75 years young and who have contributed throughout their lifetimes, again, positive impact to our community and the entire community. And so this year's recipients are Mr. James Baker, Dr. Judy Moore Latta, Kathy Matthews, Joe A. Owens, Dr. Betty Houghton Smith, and Delegate W. Gregory Weems. Please come out this coming Friday at 7 o'clock. It's a free event. Please come out and celebrate these elders in our community and also enjoy a marvelous, marvelous, marvelous soul food buffet. Amen.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Keisha Addison. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, as well as the Director of Shared Accountability for Montgomery County Public Schools.
Hi, good morning. My name is Wanda Freeman. I am the Secretary of the African American Chamber of Commerce of Montgomery County.
Good morning. My name is Janice Freeman. I am the president of the African American Chamber of Commerce of Montgomery County. I am also a Montgomery County Commissioner for the Montgomery County Human Rights.
Good morning. I'm Anita Neal Powell, the president of the Lincoln Park Historical Foundation, and I have been celebrating Juneteenth here in Montgomery County for the past 28 years.
Good morning, Annie Foster Ahmed. I am here representing the Potomac Valley Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I am the incoming second vice president of the chapter.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name is BJ Dawkins. I represent the Maryland Black Chamber of Commerce. I'm the Montgomery County Chair for the Advisory Board. I will be speaking at Black Rock on Saturday about your skin is no better than mine. Thank you.
Good morning. Aaron Mitchum from the Gaithersburg Rockville Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, Vice President.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Derek Tanner. I am the incoming 15th President of the Gaithersburg Rockville Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. And one thing, we are more than enough. Don't ever think that you're not. You are, and celebrate yourself.
Hi. Hello, my name is Barbara Boney, and I am the 19th president for our Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Chapter, Montgomery County Alumni Chapter. Just want to say a little bit about our chapter. We've been in this community for 55 years. We have almost 400 women, and we are serving this county. We're excited to be here today, and we are so proud of this and you for Will Jawando and Lorianne Sale, who's also a part of our chapter. So we're grateful and we're honored to be a part of this. And we're going to work as women of Delta Sigma Theta to make Montgomery County a better place to live for everyone. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you for doing that. And so Councilmember Sales and I will read the proclamation. Whereas Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States, becoming a federal holiday after the dedicated efforts of Miss Opal Lee, the grandmother of Juneteenth. At the age of 89, Miss Lee walked from her home in Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. to deliver 1.5 million signatures to Congress calling on lawmakers to make June 19th a national holiday. Her efforts led to legislation being passed and signed by President Biden in 2021, and
whereas the Emancipation Proclamation issued by President Abraham Lincoln 162 years ago in 1863 legally freed enslaved individuals in the Confederacy that were not yet under Union control. Many enslavers, including those in Montgomery County, continued to hold free men, women, and children captive for years after the announcement. In 1860, Montgomery County had a population of 18,322, including some 5,500 enslaved and 1,500 free blacks. Maryland would remain a slaveholding state until the Maryland Constitution of 1864 outlawed slavery on November 1st, 1864, and
whereas General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865, and announced the end of the Civil War and the end of slavery. There were still 250,000 enslaved people in Texas at the time. That day became known as Juneteenth, a symbolic date representing African American freedom and freedom for all people in the United States, and
whereas slavery and the white supremacist institutions that facilitated it set the foundation for hundreds of years of systemic and institutional racism, with devastating consequences to black people in the United States. On December 6, 1865, slavery throughout the United States became illegal when Georgia ratified the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. While Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom, it also highlights the injustices experienced by enslaved persons and the lingering pains felt today. And
whereas the significance of Juneteenth continues to grow, especially here in Montgomery County, as Black Americans and allies across this country continue the struggle to defeat racism in all its forms. Montgomery County's elected leaders and residents are more committed than ever to this effort. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby celebrates Juneteenth and recognizes the full history of the United States and its people for the betterment of our society. Presented on this day, the 17th of June in the year 2025, signed by myself, Councilmember Sales, and Council President Kate Stewart on behalf of the entire council. Happy Juneteenth.
All right. Thank you very much to Council Vice President Jawando and for everyone joining us. I look forward to seeing everyone throughout this week, and particularly on Thursday, on Juneteenth. We will now be moving on to our general business. There are no announcements and no minutes for approval today. And so we are now going to, I just wanted to, as people leave, I just wanted to acknowledge for a moment, ask everyone as they leave, Just to take a moment for Senator Hortman and her husband, who were shot and killed on Saturday, and Senator Hoffman and his wife, who are recovering from tragic and targeted acts of violence. And as we have shown here in Montgomery County what it is for a community to come together, we need to continue to do these things. As elected leaders and public servants, we recognize that we have policy disagreements and debates, and that is fundamental to our democracy, but violence must never be tolerated. And I just wanted to take a moment before we began our general business to let the families know and the people of Minnesota that our hearts go out to them and that we condemn these acts of violence. And so if we could just take a moment. Thank you, everyone. And again, thank you to my colleagues for their proclamations this morning. As I noted, we have no announcements today and no minutes for approval. So we'll move on to our legislative session. This is day number 16. And I believe, we have not confirmed this, I believe this is a historic day here at the council for the number of bills and zoning text amendments we have for introduction. So we're going to begin. The first bill for introduction is Expedited Bill 16-25, Personnel Employees Retirement System, Membership Requirements and Membership Group. The lead sponsor is myself at the request of the county executive. A public hearing is scheduled for July 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Ms. Wellens, do you have anything to announce regarding this bill?
Thank you, Madam President. Just very, very quickly, the bill simply amends Code Section 3337 regarding membership in Group E of the Employee Retirement System. Group E, as you know, covers correctional officers, emergency communications personnel. This would just correct an oversight, basically, by adding one additional type of emergency communications MLS manager position that was inadvertently not included in prior legislative updates. And it would have a retroactive application back to 2023. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Wellens. Not seeing any comments. This bill is introduced. Thank you. Item 1B is the introduction of Bill 17-25, Contracts and Procurement General Provisions, Exemptions, Internet Access Service. The lead sponsor is myself at the request of the county executive. A public hearing is scheduled for July 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Mr. Grzelak, do we have any comments on this or overview?
No, it's a very simple bill. I would just note that it exempts from the county procurement law the obtaining of internet access services for the county.
Okay. All right. This bill is introduced. The next bill for introduction is Bill 18-25, Forest Conservation Trees. The lead sponsor is myself at the request of the Planning Board. A public hearing is scheduled for July 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Mr. Grzelak, this is your bill as well.
Yes, I'll just note this bill came from the Planning Department. It comes over a similar version of this every few years. The vast majority of what's set forth in this bill is simply to align the county's forest conservation law with state law, as well as some other technical corrections.
Great. Well, those are the first three easy ones. Now we are moving into item 1D and the introduction of Expedited Bill 19-25. That's Noise Control Leaf Removal Equipment Seasonal Exemption. The lead sponsor is Councilmember Albanaz. Co-sponsors are Councilmembers Lukey, Balcom, and Katz. A public hearing is scheduled for July 15th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. And I will first turn it over to the lead sponsor, Councilmember Albanaz.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Thank you for that moment of silence this morning. I know that deeply impacted all of us. So yes, this bill seeks to amend legislation that we passed 2 years ago, Bill 1822, which bans gas-powered leaf blowers here in Montgomery County. I've had the opportunity, as well as I know a number of my colleagues, to visit with landscaping professionals over the last several months, and it has been made very clear to me that these landscaping professionals are not in a position to be able to comply with the law as passed, in large part for several reasons. One, people's disposable incomes have gone down. Renewals are significantly down, and the fall season is the busiest for these landscaping professionals. And as we have seen, in some part because of tariffs, the cost of electric commercial powered leaf blowers was already expensive, is now even more so. And I think it would be reasonable to provide a longer transition period for landscaping professionals to be able to comply with the law. So what this bill would do is to exempt landscaping professionals from the law from October to January, which is the busiest season for obviously leaf removal, and that this bill would sunset within 3 years. It would still, the ban would still go into effect the other 9 months of the year, but it would give landscaping professionals a longer runway to be able to comply with the law. I believe this is common sense, and this helps set everybody up for success and is in the spirit of what we were trying to achieve with the bill in the first place. So proud to introduce this. Thank you to all my co-sponsors. Look forward to the conversations.
Great. Thank you. Ms. McCartney Green, anything to add?
I do have a technical amendment that I wanted to address. For those that are following closely along, the section of the code that the bill will amend is actually, that language is not actually in the code as of right now, because that law, the prohibition on gas-powered leaf blower, doesn't go into effect till July 1. Right. So if you're following closely along, I don't see that language there. It will be there, obviously, when the council is ready to deliberate this bill, but as of today, it's not in that code section.
Great. Thank you for that. All right. Not seeing anyone wishing to comment, this bill is introduced. Now we'll go on to item 1E as the introduction of expedited bill 20-25, Economic Development Corporation, Economic Development Strategic Plan deadlines. The lead sponsors are myself and Councilmember Balcom. A public hearing is scheduled for July 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Basically what this bill does is it adjusts the deadlines for submitting the drafts of the strategic plan for MCEDC and the comments that come from the county executive and before it comes to the council for final approval. We looked at this because, as I think all of us know here, MCEDC is going through a leadership change, and this made the most sense to provide them a little bit more leeway as they're developing the strategic plan. Councilmember Balcom, did you have anything to add? Or nope, you're good. Ms. Wellens, anything to add? No. All right. Not seeing anything more on this. This bill is introduced. Thank you very much. The next bill for introduction is Bill 21-25, Taxation, Daycare, and Child Care Property Tax Credit. I'm the lead sponsor. Co-sponsors are Council Members Albanaz, Council Vice President Jawando, Council Members Friedson, Katz, Glass, and Sales. A public hearing is scheduled for July 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Basically, what the bill would do would expand the property tax credit for child care providers here in Montgomery County. As we know, Montgomery County and our state is facing a child care crisis. The comptroller's report has shown a loss of 15.5% of licensed providers and over 1,000 home-based providers in recent years. This decline has reduced child care options for families, increased wait lists, and put added strain on working parents here in Montgomery County. And we also know child care is not just a parenting issue, but also an economic issue here for us in the county. This past legislative session in Annapolis, State Bill HB 389, which was sponsored by Delegate Julie Polakovich Carr and signed into law by Governor Moore, enables Montgomery County to modernize and expand this tax credit to better reflect today's needs. The intent of the enabling legislation in Annapolis and our bill is to provide targeted tax breaks that will help existing and new child care providers in operation while also continuing to incentivize construction. The bill would increase the maximum tax credit from $3,000 to $10,000, making it more meaningful for providers as they face increasing operational costs and other costs to expand. And it would remove the outdated requirement that facilities improved after 1987 or 88 are eligible. It would also expand eligibility to include large family child care homes, which serve 9 to 12 children, and update outdated terminology to align with the current state law. These changes will enable expanded enhancements to real property used by large family child care homes and strengthen child care infrastructure in Montgomery County. Ms. Wellens, did I miss anything?
You did not. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Lukey.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you for your leadership on this bill. I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Terrific. All right. Thank you very much. Not seeing any other comments, this bill is introduced. Next is the introduction of Expedited Bill 23-25, Early Care and Education Coordinating Entity. The lead sponsors are Council Members Albanaz and Council Vice President Jawando. A public hearing is scheduled for July 15th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I'll first turn it over to the lead sponsor, Council Member Albanaz.
Thank you again, Madam President. So I was proud about 4 years ago to co-lead legislation that established the Early Care and Education Coordinating Entity as an important resource and an important entity to help ensure that we increase and expand our universe of early childhood and education opportunities for our children, youth, and families across the county. Now that they really hit the ground running and have been doing extraordinary work over the last several years, it's also become clear that we need to ensure that the roles and responsibilities of both the Department of Health and Human Services as well as the Early Care and Education Coordinating Entity are more clear and in the spirit of the original intent of the bill to begin with. And so that is what this bill seeks to clarify. And we, of course, will go through the legislative process and have discussions within the Education and Culture Committee to refine this legislation and hear from all impacted stakeholders and voices. But we felt it was important at this time to help clarify those roles for everyone, including future councils and executives. I appreciate Council Vice President Jawando co-sponsoring this with me and look forward to the deliberation and discussion in committee.
Great. I'll turn it over to Council Vice President Jawando.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Chair Albanaz. I also just wanted to say how pleased we are that the progress. I remember that day when we were with Councilmember Navarro and we kicked off the plan as part of her presidency to chart a path forward to making sure that we're expanding early care and education for every child in this county. And we've made a lot of progress, but we still got a lot to do. And COA has been a huge part of that. And I want to thank the attorneys for crafting this. The end game is clear here. The goal is to make sure we're providing affordable, high-quality child care by providers who can afford to be in business, and that the folks who work in these child care settings can be paid a living wage. And there's a lot of work to do, and a lot has been done. And it's a big puzzle, but this bill will help reauthorize the Early Care and Education Coordinating Entity, and also be a part of celebrating its accomplishments since 2021. There's been some growing pains along the way, and as Councilmember Albanaz mentioned, we're going to go through this process deliberately and not in a rushed way, and make sure that we get it right and make sure that everyone knows who's on first and who's doing what. And we think that that's a possible and a good goal, and I appreciate everyone on the HHS side as well as our providers and COA for all of their work. So also appreciate the Council President for giving us a little time and space to do that with the resolution designation to extend the time for us to consider it, which I think is going to be helpful as well. Thank you, Madam President.
Great, thank you. Ms. Wellens, anything to add?
Thank you. Nothing to add.
All right, Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez.
Thank you so much. I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you for all the work my colleagues have done on this.
Okay, thank you. All right, seeing no other comments, this bill is introduced. Next is item 1H, is the introduction of Bill 24-25, Transportation Demand Management Repeal. The lead sponsors are Council Members Balcom, Glass, and myself, basically the T&E Committee. Public hearing is scheduled for July 8th at 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I will first turn it over to Council Member Balcom.
Thank you. It's it's fitting that this bill number is 2425 because that's how long we've been working on this issue since the beginning of 24. So aspects of the county's transportation demand management law have been in place, since the mid-90s, with many amendments throughout the years. The purpose of the program is to increase non-auto driver mode share in specific areas defined in the law. The last amendment was enacted by the prior council in 2019, although the council didn't receive the corresponding regulations till 2023. And as the T&E committee began reviewing the proposed regulations, there were a lot of questions about the specific regulations, but also possible overreach compared to the actual law. But there were also questions in the law itself. So at the same time that we were looking at this in the T&E committee and the Economic Development Committee, we saw conflicting priorities. So in one committee, we were looking at the advantages of telework. In the other committee, we were lamenting the telework because of its impact on our commercial properties. So the world has changed considerably. Our commuting patterns have changed dramatically since 2019. In the meantime, we also had a report from the Inspector General stating that the implementation of this program has not been universal and compliance has been extremely low. And our job as legislators are to pass laws, but we also have the responsibility to determine whether existing laws are still serving their initial purpose. And given the many conflicting factors in this law, as well as the ineffective implementation, the members of the T&E committee are introducing Bill 2425 to repeal the TDM law. It's important to note that the original goals of decreasing non-auto driver mode share are still very extremely important and valid. And working with MCDOT, we need to take a fresh look at these goals and the best way of meeting the goals. There will also be a separate resolution next week to address the proposed regulations that are still outstanding, still pending. So we're introducing that bill today. I want to thank Ms. McCartney Green for her excellent work and her patience in the past year when we really tried to tackle this first as an amendment, but then it became apparent that a repeal was the most appropriate way to go. And I also want to thank T&E Chair Glass, President Stewart, for their willingness to take a deep dive into an extremely complicated law and co-leading on this bill. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Glass.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate the T&E Committee's work on this. And as Councilmember Balcom noted, she and I are on both T&E and economic development and have seen this issue from both ends. I appreciate the context in which you put this. The bill that we're introducing today is going to make it easier for businesses in Montgomery County, and it's going to make it easier to travel around Montgomery County. The repeal of this law, coupled with teleworking and an increase in public transit, will provide us a new path forward. Previous councils passed a series of laws and regulations with very good intention, but they just don't meet the moment in 2025. And that is the deep dive we've undertaken, and that's what this bill seeks to rectify. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McCartney Green, anything to add on the bill?
Just that it also provides for notices to affected employers or owners, or responsibility requires that the department to send certain notices before the appeal actually takes effect, and goes over how to have the lien release if for some developments that have a lien that's recorded in land records, and that existing projects that are in the pipeline, if they have a TDM plan that was included, that would no longer be needed to be approved for that application.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Albornoz?
I'd like to be listed as co-sponsor. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Sales?
Thank you. I'd also like to be listed as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just to underscore what Councilmember Balcom said regarding the Inspector General report, the Audit Committee will be taking that up before the Transportation and Environment Committee takes up this bill. And just to note again, as folks have said, next week, June 24th, on our agenda, we will be taking up the draft regulations that were transmitted to us from the Department of Transportation, because we actually have to take action on that. So if anybody has any questions, let us know, but just wanted to highlight that that will be on our agenda next week. Seeing no other questions or anything, this bill is introduced. Thank you very much. And really thank you to Councilmember Balcom and her office. The amount of work she has done and Ms. McCartney Green have already done to get us to this place has been incredible. So thank you very much. All right. Next bill, next for introduction is Bill 25-25, Taxation Payments in Lieu of Taxes, Public Housing Authorities. The lead co-sponsor is Councilmember Katz. A public hearing is scheduled for July 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I will turn it over to Councilmember Katz.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Bill 2525 would expand existing legislation, specifically Bill 2621, which allows the opportunity to include not only HOC, the Housing Opportunities Commission, but any other Montgomery County public housing entity as defined by Maryland Code to be eligible for the pilot, the payments in lieu of taxes, exemption under county law. Our office has been working with Ms. McCartney Green, who reached out to every alphabet that we can think of, DCHA, the Department of Housing Community Affairs, ESTAT, which is the Maryland State Department of Assessments and Taxation, OCA, the Office of the County Attorney, etc. This would align with the recent state of Maryland legislation, HB 1085, which was signed into the law by the governor, that gives counties the authority to amend county code regarding, by right, the pilot program. HB 1085 went into effect on June 1st. While the impetus of this bill was in response to an inquiry from the City of Rockville and Rockville Housing Enterprises, also known as RHE, the city's public housing entity, the state legislation paved the way to expand the pilot to any eligible housing authority as long as the authority meets all the requirements under state law. Expanding existing pilot legislation would enable the county to further incentivize the development of much-needed affordable housing. Ms. Balcom, Councilmember Balcom, you mentioned that Ms. McCartney Green had to work so hard for yours. We'll see yours and raise you too. I'm telling you. She truly did a remarkable job, and if, with your indulgence, Madam President, I will turn it over to Ms. McCartney Green.
Councilmember Katz have summed it up correctly, listing all the points. No other further comments here.
Okay, Councilmember Friedson.
Thank you, Councilmember Katz. Really appreciate it. I co-authored the original pilot bill and worked closely with Delegate Corman and others at the state level to pass the bill that you mentioned, to expand it, and really appreciate you taking this on. It's an interest of Rockville and others, and I've heard from them as well. I appreciate you as the district council member of taking this on. I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. Appreciate your leadership on this and look forward to creating more opportunities for more affordable housing throughout the county. Doesn't matter whether it's a municipality, whether it's a housing agency, whether it's a nonprofit. We want as many people to be able to take advantage of these efforts as possible so that we can create more affordability in Montgomery County. So with that, I'll yield back.
Thank you. Councilmember Lukey.
Thank you, Madam President. I too would also like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Great. All right. Not seeing anyone else. This bill is introduced. Thank you. Next bill for introduction is Bill 26-25, Vegetation Invasive Plants. Lead sponsor is Councilmember Glass. Co-sponsors are myself and Councilmember Lukey. A public hearing is scheduled for July 22nd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I'll turn it over to Councilmember Glass.
Thank you very much, Madam President. This piece of legislation, along with zoning text amendment 2510, is the Native Plant Protection Act, and it includes two key proposals. One is to ban the sale of invasive bamboo, something I know all of us have heard about in home properties and in other areas all throughout the county. It is a major problem and headache for many people. And the second aspect is to require native plants in new construction across Montgomery County. We just celebrated our weed warriors who are spending their time to remove invasive plants. And what this legislative package does is it promotes sustainable native plants. And what it also does is promote biodiversity, building climate resilient landscapes, and supporting our pollinators. And I appreciate Councilmember Stewart, Council President Stewart, and Councilmember Lutke for co-sponsoring. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Nadeau, anything to add? Nope.
Nothing to add. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Not seeing anyone else wishing to speak, this bill is introduced. Our final bill for introduction today is Bill 22-25, Labor Peace Agreements, Hotel Development Projects. The lead sponsors are Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez, myself, and Councilmember Katz. A public hearing is scheduled July 8th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I will turn it over to the one of the leads, Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, Madam President. This bill requires labor peace agreements on hotel development projects where the county is an economic participant, bringing the county in line with neighboring jurisdictions in industry norms in the hospitality and tourism sector. In fact, labor peace agreements are common in the hospitality and tourism sector. There are a number of jurisdictions that have ordinances and require labor peace at all hotel development projects where the jurisdiction has a proprietary interest. With that said, giving workers the right to organize, the right to feel that they can, talk to somebody without this fear of getting fired is the right thing to do, and it really embraces our values as a county, and it helps develop a strong workforce. At the same time, it's clear that the county's advantage to avoid labor disputes and the resulting loss of revenue on our public-private partnerships like the Montgomery County Conference Center is very important. So I think many of you know that I have a background on labor organizing. I used to work for SEIU, and I'm highly familiar with this type of work. And what we're doing is the right thing, making sure that workers feel that they not just live in a county that is embracing, that welcomes them, but that they're also working in places where the county has a financial interest. The places that are protected is very important. So I look forward to seeing this bill in committee and answering any questions that you all may have. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez. And I will just say, just thank you for your leadership on this. And in addition to all the reasons that you enumerated to have this go forward, I will also say the times we're living in and the federal administration we have right now that is ignoring federal labor laws and eviscerating workers' rights make this even more imperative that we are doing what we can at the local level to facilitate and make sure that when we're involved in projects and it's in our county's economic interest, that we are facilitating workers' rights and making sure that they have them and can exercise them. So thank you for that. Councilmember Katz, did you want to say a few words?
I did, just a few. Thank you, Madam President. I too am pleased to co-lead this bill. And what has transpired in the county's convention center are truly unfortunate for everyone involved. I think it needs to be noted again, because Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez also mentioned, this does not change any agreements that are in existence. It would only affect if for a new agreement for the convention center, but it would also it's only if the county has a financial interest in is when the labor peace agreement would go into effect. And I think it's also very important to mention, for the convention center, I have been there sometimes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as many of you all have. And many of the events, some of the events, are people who are unions and other entities. And this would be to the benefit of the business as well as to the benefit of the employees and employers, everyone involved, if they could sit down. This doesn't say that something has to happen. This says you have to be a good neighbor, a good friend, and get this done so that everybody can continue to have a enjoyable event at the convention center. It is to everyone's benefit to have that happen. Thank you very much, and I appreciate my co-leads on this as well, Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez and Council President Stewart. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Before I turn to other colleagues, Ms. Wellens, do you have anything else to add regarding this bill?
Just very quickly, thank you. The co-leads already excellently described the bill. Just wanted to double down or triple down on the point that the bill is limited to situations in which the county has an economic or proprietary interest. In other words, we're acting as sort of an economic party where we have an interest in the ongoing revenues and the success of the project from an economic standpoint. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for that. Council Vice President Joando.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate colleagues for introducing this. Many of us have been in conversations with Marriott and with the unions and the workers, and as Councilor Katz so aptly put, many of us have thanked the workers at that facility so many times for all the many events that we're there for, and we should be a model employer, and when we have financial interests, we want to support wages that support a high quality of life, and I think this is a really smart bill. And I hope that we can work it out with the legislation, but also work it out with the current management there, but also any other potential future interest that we have in a hotel or a property that could come down the line. So I would like to be added as a co-sponsor and appreciate the work.
Thank you. Councilmember Mink.
I agree with my colleagues and would like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. Councilmember Lukey.
Thank you, Madam President. And yes, I am very proud of the relationship that the county has with Marriott. They've been a great partner to us, and we all are very proud of all employees at the conference center too, who serve the county so well. And I do want to emphasize too, this is such a perilous time that we are living in, and our hospitality workers feel that more than ever. And it's important to note this is really bolding and underlining that which is already authorized by federal law, but given the whims of what is or isn't federal law day to day and what will or will not be enforced, we as a county government owe an obligation to try to do our best possible job to protect everyone's interests in not having disrupted service and in making sure that folks can avail themselves of the right to organize if they so choose. So I am proud to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. Councilmember Glass.
Please add me as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. Councilmember Sales.
Thank you to my colleagues. I too would like to be added as a co-sponsor.
All right. Thank you very much. Not seeing anyone else who wishes to speak, this bill is introduced. Thank you, everyone. All right, the council will now sit as the district council. The first item for the district council's consideration is the introduction of zoning text amendment 25-09, funeral and interment services, alkaline hydrolysis. The lead sponsor is Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez. A public hearing is scheduled for July 22nd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I'll turn it over to Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, Madam President. We say that Montgomery County is an environmental and sustainable community that's always leading the way. Well, we're gonna do that once again with this ETA. It's basically a green way to die, honestly. I know it's a dark subject, but it's life. We are gonna die. So the state of Maryland in the last legislative session passed legislation led by Senator Jeff Oelstreicher from Montgomery County and Delegate Ann Kaiser, also from Montgomery County, to allow the state to use a better, modernized way to have people being cremated using water. If we don't pass this ETA, then even though we have a state law that allows this, we can't have it. I've been talking to a couple folks who own funeral homes who are ready to go, and but talking to DPS, this needs to be clear in the code that this will be allowed, and that's why we have the zoning text amendment. And I hope that everybody can learn more about this and consider this as part of their will at some point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Nadeau, anything to add on this?
Yes. So what I will add is that the use will be allowed as an accessory use as part of funeral homes, and then in addition will be allowed in crematories. And so that's why it needed a ZTA. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, not seeing anyone else who wishes to speak. This zoning text amendment is introduced. Next, we have introduction of zoning text amendment 25-10, landscaping requirements, native plants. The lead sponsor is Councilmember Glass. Co-sponsors are myself and Councilmember Lukey. A public hearing is scheduled for July 22nd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I'll turn it over to Councilmember Glass.
This is the ZTA I referenced before, so no additional comments. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Nadeau, anything on the ZTA?
Nothing to add. Thank you.
All right. Not seeing any other colleagues who wish to speak, the ZTA is introduced. All right. Our next item for the District Council is action on a local map amendment H-156 regarding the property located at 7501 to 7515 Standish Place, 7519 Standish Place, 7529 Standish Place, and 7609 to 7623 Standish Place in Plat Book 118 as plat number 13905. Ms. Nadeau, will you please walk us through the process?
Can do. So, as you know, a local map amendment is a rezoning of a specific property. These go to the Office of Zoning and Administrative Hearings. And as you can see, we have our hearing examiner, Ms. Sacconi, here. So the way this works in terms of process is the council can approve, disapprove, or remand this application. The resolution that's included in the packet is consistent with the hearing examiner's recommendation, meaning it is a resolution for approval. If the council wishes to disapprove or remand, then you will take a straw vote today, and we will come back at a later date with a new resolution.
Thank you for that. Ms. Sacconi, I'll turn it over to you now.
Thank you. Good morning, Council President Stewart, Council Vice President Jawando, and all council members. Thank you so much for having me this morning to review my report and recommendation on the local map amendment application of Tri Point Homes DC Metro Inc., local map amendment number H-156. I recommend approval of this application. The applicant is requesting reclassification from the existing industrial moderate zone, which is IM 2.5, to the commercial residential neighborhood floating zone for the properties, as the council president introduced, 7501 Standish Place, and there are multiple parcels within the covered by this application. I recommend approval as requested, subject to the specifications and requirements of the floating zone that was submitted, provided that the applicant will file an executed declaration of covenants with binding elements. And I'll cover the binding elements very shortly. Your packet includes my full report, and the resolution actually summarizes a good part of it. So I only plan on highlighting a few items. So there are various general and specific standards that must be met on the record in order for approval, and I believe that these were met. The few that I just want to highlight are compatibility with the master plan. There's a requirement that a local map amendment must substantially conform with the recommendations of the applicable master plan, the general plan, and other applicable county plans. This office park building falls within the Crabs Branch Office Park District in the 2021 Shady Grove Minor Master Plan. And although the master plan does not make a property-specific recommendation, the project does advance the master plan's broader vision for the Shady Grove area as a mixed-use and pedestrian-oriented environment, with attractive streetscapes, distinctive architecture, and a sense of place that is complemented with amenities, with mobility options. So this would be converting what is currently a complex that has multiple office buildings and turning them into townhouses. The other thing I just want to mention is at this stage, you would be, what you're looking at is the local map amendment, but this is a project that would then go back to the planning board for site plan. Mm-hmm. So we are required to set setbacks and height in the local map amendment, but the actual specifics of where things will lie will happen at the planning board. Unless you have specific questions for me, I believe it's all covered in detail in my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'll turn it now to Councilmember Lukey.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm just incredibly excited about this project, and so I'd like to urge my colleagues for their support. This is going to bring some much-needed affordable housing to a very, very transit-oriented portion of my district. So thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Councilmember Lukey. Would you like to make the motion to approve?
I sure would like to move to approve.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve by Councilmember Lukey, a second by Councilmember Friedson. I'm not seeing anyone else in the queue with questions, so I'm going to ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilmember Lukey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lukey votes yes. Councilmember Mink?
Yes.
Councilmember Mink votes yes. Councilmember Sales?
Yes.
Councilmember Sales votes yes. Councilmember Friedson?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedson votes yes. Councilmember Glass?
Yes.
Councilmember Glass votes yes. Councilmember Katz?
Yes.
Councilmember Katz votes yes. Councilmember Albornoz?
Yes.
Councilmember Albornoz votes yes. Councilmember Fani Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Fani Gonzalez votes yes. Councilmember Balcom?
Yes.
Councilmember Balcom votes yes. Councilmember Jawando?
Yes.
Councilmember Jawando votes yes. Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.
Councilmember Stewart votes yes.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nadeau and Ms. Ciccone, for that presentation, and we're glad to see this move forward. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. All right, item 3 and our last item for this morning is the consent calendar. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar. Council Vice President moved, Council Member Sales seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous, and we are in recess until 1:30 p.m. when we have a number of public hearings this afternoon. Thank you, everyone. And I just want to say a huge shout out to our staff, particularly our legal team, for all their hard work on the number of bills and zoning text amendments that were introduced this morning. Thank you, everyone.
Sino que también con sus mascotas. Y en este mes de junio,